because not only is this the first building to get destroyed during the 1900 storm, this building right here is where the first deaths of the 1900 storm occurred. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that when it comes to the 1900 storm, nobody knew that storm was coming. Matter of fact, we had a chief meteorologist here in town. Can I get everybody to scoot up? That way we got a walkway in the background. Thank you very much. We had a chief meteorologist here in town named Isaac Klein, who is very famous for being on print in history as saying that Galveston could not only never get destroyed by a hurricane, but much less ever hit by a hurricane because the waters off our coast are so shallow. Now, anybody that's lived in South Texas for even a year knows that's absolute nonsense. Bare minimal, we get a tropical storm every year. But that said, that afternoon when the 1900 storm actually started to hit, and the rain started, and the wind started, and the water started coming into the streets, nobody really thought or believed anything dangerous was happening. Matter of fact, most people actually ran out into the streets with their kids to play in the water.
Oh my goodness.
Now, at that point in time, this building behind us was actually known as Ritter's Cafe and Saloon. This was where a lot of the prominent, well-to-do people in Galveston would actually gather and eat food, smoke cigars, and drink wine and whatnot. See, because now back in those days, while Galveston was definitely still known as a place to come to the beach and stuff like that, Galveston was mainly known for this street right here, the Strand. This was our financial district, and this place had so much money running through it that it had the nickname of being the Wall Street of the South. What they had for Galveston back then was to basically turn this into another Manhattan Island. Pretty much any major first that would have happened in Texas back then would have started here. Case in point, this was the first place to ever get electricity in Texas. Galveston was the first city in Texas to ever have a telephone or a newspaper. Oddly enough, that newspaper was actually located right above Ritter's Cafe. Now, as the 1900 storm hit, they were all gathered in there just laughing about it. Laughing about how hard the wind was blowing, how much rain was coming down, and that there was water in the streets. Legend has it, somebody even made a joke that, hey, guess what? There's this crazy storm outside, and there's 13 people in here. Back in those days, it was believed that if you had 13 people gathered in a building, that was a bad omen. So, rumor has it, they sat there and laughed about that. Well, not long after that, a piece of the roof blew off. When a piece of the roof blew off, it changed the pressure in that building so dramatically that it bowed out the beams, and the whole building gave way and collapsed upon itself, killing everybody in there. Also, the newspaper press from the Galveston News that was directly upstairs, that newspaper press actually fell through and crushed somebody itself. Now, if you go to the Galveston News now, you'll notice in that building they have a big, giant, antique newspaper press. That was actually the newspaper press that actually fell through and killed somebody here in Ritter's. So this is not only the first place, as far as destruction goes of the 1900 storm, this is also where the first deaths of the 1900 storm happened. And still to this day, the people that work in there will still claim to see things fly off of the shelves or to feel somebody standing behind them as they're closing and stuff like that. So that said, if you want to follow me to the next block, we're going to cross and we're going to Buster's Old Time Photo. That is going to be the next stop on the tour.